Hey, it's travelgigolo and this is a review of Nossob campsite in the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park. Nossob is about 160 kilometers from the Travelgigolo gate. According to the Sandparks website, that's about a 4.5-hour drive, but it can take you significantly longer if you're going to stop and see stuff along the way. Nossob, in my view, is probably the best campsite from which to explore the Kgalagadi Park because it's located approximately in the middle of the park. And because of this, of course, you can drive north or south and cover quite a bit of area and then come back to the campsite as your center of operations. The private campsites are about 20 meters by 20 meters and allow a maximum of 6 people, so it's quite spacious. The campsite area is pretty flat, so it's suitable for caravans or trailers, ground tents, rooftop tents, whatever you want to camp in. You have the options of booking a general campsite at Nossob or one of the private campsites. We stayed at a private campsite. The private campsites are pre-assigned when you do your booking, and they're also very clearly separated from each other. And of course, they have amenities for your exclusive use, which is the attraction with having one of these campsites. One of the slight drawbacks of the private campsites is that they don't have as much shade as the general campsites. But if you set up carefully on the northern side, for example, of the campsite, then you should have a decent amount of shade. The kitchen area is really cool. You have a nice tiled work surface on which you can prepare your food and just generally keep your stuff off the ground. There's also a wash basin with hot and cold water. This area is under roof, so that gives you a bit of shade from the sun in the heat of the day, and if it does rain, as it does occasionally, then you've got some shelter from the rain as well. Hot water is provided by a solar water heater. The electricity supply is next to the kitchen, and like the rest of the campsite, it is a caravan socket, so you need to have an adapter for your normal 15 amp plug. The bathrooms are very nice. It's quite a spacious area with a basin, toilet and shower. And there is mesh on the windows to keep the bugs out. If you want to take a plunge in the pool, then it's a short walk to the general campsite where the pool is located, but it is definitely well worth the walk, especially on those hot summer days. There's a shop on site which has all the basic stuff you need. This includes meat and ice, wood, drinks, charcoal, etc. Basically almost anything typically that you would require for camping or for picnicking at the site. There's also a fuel station at the site and facilities for inflating your tires. My favorite aspect of Nossob is the viewing hide. The hide is just a short walk from reception or a couple of 100 meters from the campsites. This hide looks down onto a watering hole and it's particularly cool at night. If you stay at Nossob, I highly recommend that you go to the hide at nighttime. We had some really cool sightings there, and there's quite a few nocturnal predators and so on in the park, so it's really good if you've got the patience to go and sit at the hide for a while and you get some really nice sightings. Getting to Nossob from the Travelgigolo gate or from the Mata border post is a significant drive, at least 4 hours, probably more, especially if you're going to stop and see stuff. Also, if you're planning to come from outside the park and drive straight to Nossob to camp there overnight, then just take into account that there's a fair amount of time it takes to get from the Travelgigolo gate to Nossob campsite. You have to drive to the park on unpaved roads to get here, but you don't need any particularly special type of vehicle. The roads are generally in pretty good condition. There is a bit of sand on some of the roads and corrugation, but nothing particularly difficult to traverse. If you're not keen on the private camps, then there are also general campsites as well, and if you're not keen on camping at all, then there are a set of chalets. The general campsites have electricity, water and braai stands, and they also have really good shade. So what type of camper is Nossob for? If you like having your own private little space and your own bathroom and kitchen and so on, then I definitely recommend the private campsites. The general campsites are really nice as well. Basically, you don't need anything special to camp here, all the facilities that you typically require here, and there is a well-stocked shop as well. You can camp here with a ground tent, rooftop tent, caravan, trailer, whatever the case is. And you have electricity and water, so you don't really need to bring anything special with you to camp here. In my view, Nossob is the ideal location from which to explore the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park. If I were to choose a preferred campsite, it would definitely be Nossob, and that's mainly due to its location. So if you found this useful, do hit the like button, and thanks to everyone that's subscribed. If you haven't, then please do subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about your experience at Nossob or anything else that you want to comment on. Thanks to everyone out there for your support, and until the next episode, go everywhere, see everything, have a great time.